Right. Hello, guys. Welcome to the new episode of True Talk with DJ Nero. And today I've got here with me beautiful boys and girls. I'll let you guys do the introduction. So, so
Do you want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
I'll go first.
yeah, go for it.
My name's Ian Johnston. I've known Ali for about 10 years now.
Have you? Yeah, I know. Yeah, we've known each other for
10 years, that's a lot.
About 10 years. Yes, long time.
Nice.
And then we have Bempire here.
My name is Victoria.
Right.
All right. I'm an entrepreneur
Very good.
and a mother of 3.
Very good.
And I've known DJ Nero for like 4 years.
Yes.
Good.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then we have on my
Yeah,
left.
your turn, yes.
I'm Zoe. I am Ian's wife, and we have a lovely baby boy.
Very good.
And I have known Addie for 5 years.
You guys really need to tell me
No.
how you've known me.
I didn't know everybody else was doing it.
But that is good.
It's like a know me contest. Who knows me longest?
I've known Ian for about 5 years as well.
So I've actually known you longer than.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm Tosin. Well, everybody call me Samuel.
I call you Lacruz.
I call you Lacruz too.
That's my nickname, though. So I'm an entrepreneur. I'm into ICT as well, cybersecurity, and I've known Nero for like since we did this competition about who knows him longer. 6 years.
They're about yeah. You're right.
Yeah, 6 years.
You're right. And there's someone behind the camera.
Ignore me, man. It's not bad.
Sure. Right. I've known Mega for known you for about 6 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
And you've been great. Right. So let's go to today's topic. It's a beautiful topic, and it's something I know you would all have loads to talk about. It's a topic about we just want to know, like going by my previous episode, that had to do with cheaters.
Okay.
So on this one, I have this friend of mine that he loved asking me questions, and I bumped into him again. That was the same guy that asked me the same question we dealt with the last time, and it was like Nero, just as usual. Like, I've got this thing bugging me, and I want to share that with you. And I'm like, yeah, you tell me what it is. And it was like, and I'm thinking that's possibly what he's maybe dealing with.
Okay.
And it came up to me, and it was like, should bills be split in a relationship, or is it a man's responsibility to deal with the whole bills? And when I say bills, I mean day-to-day things, day-to-day responsibility in a family, in a relationship, in a home. So I said to myself, I have my own, I have my way of addressing things like that, but I really want to hear from other people, because if I don't do that, then I feel I might be communicating slightly wrong information.
Yeah.
So I want to know from you guys. I would let me hear from him.
I believe that, you mean pay the bills or organise the bills?
Well, pay the bill.
To pay the bill, for me, it should be split. For me, it should be, I guess, it all really depends on how much income's coming in. So if it's 50-50 income, then I think it should be 50-50 bills. If it's, if I was getting paid more than Zoe, then I would expect to pay maybe more towards the bills because of that. But I think we're quite lucky that we're both in very similar paid jobs, and no, I think we do pretty much split the bills. That's kind of how we go about it. I would pay some things, she would pay others, but it all balances out really. And that's just kind of the way we've always done it.
Okay.
I don't think there is a right or wrong answer to that. So if you are saying that you're trying to get an answer for a friend, I really think different households, different situations.
True.
There is no right or wrong answer. If the man makes more money or he's the only person working in the house, then yeah, I wouldn't feel inferior to a man if he had to pay my bills.
Mhm.
But again, if I was making the more money, I don't think a man should feel inferior or feel less of a man because I'm having to pay the bills.
I understand what you're saying. That shouldn't make you feel any way substandard or feel inferior because your partner is paying more. You know, but we guys, we feel slightly inferior. We feel slightly, not being a man. Not it makes you feel like you're not man enough when your bills are paid by your wife, or maybe she's paying more into the bills.
Like in my own opinion,
Yeah.
if I may be right, I first of all go biblical before going physical.
Okay.
In the Bible, in
I
the
like
book of
that.
Ephesians,
Biblical physical.
Yeah.
That's good.
in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, that's I think verse 13 or 14, it says, God is the head of the church, as Christ is the head of the church, as the man is the head of the house.
Right.
He isn't just the head for a man, isn't just the head for, say, he's just a man, right? He's the head because he has so many responsibilities. Now, people break it down to the aspect of the fact that a man takes responsibility of the bills. It depends on, like what he said, it depends on how much comes in. Now, even if you're going to break it further and say how much comes in, it depends on the mentality of the man on taking responsibilities. Do you get
Yeah.
me? If a man feels he's being paid, let's say 1.5, I'm giving an assumption,
Yes.
in a month, and then they have bills of maybe approximately 3,000 in a month, you will be shocked that the man will pay that 3,000 and he will still not have excesses around him if he feels responsible to do it. Now, if he now feels he's being overstressed and he feels his wife needs to be supporting him, I would say first and foremost, if there is love, she would do it effortlessly. She wouldn't even do it without. She wouldn't do it and be asking, should I do it? Or there will be clauses of I did it. Why didn't you pay for it? There won't be that. So I feel when it comes to billing or issues of paying bills in the house, this is firstly the man's responsibility. If he has to, from my own point of view, any other person can say I'm wrong, but I feel to balance it, you stay at the head. You want to feel respected. Respect is reciprocal, yeah, but there's hierarchy in that respect, in where I come from.
So now it sounds like, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I understand because now at the beginning you mentioned obviously the Bible, and that's where you got your points from.
Yes.
And technically I could pick a bit of cultural.
Yeah.
I could perceive that as well from what you're
Yes.
saying. So looking at it from someone that doesn't have a culture.
Well, that's why I said it has to do with firstly love.
Okay.
If there's love in the house, they said in the Bible, give us never lack. No matter how you give, you find it easy to also give. And when you give, you are the top. You will always be the one giving.
Right.
But who is receiving is the one under. So for me, I ideally feel if a man feels obliged to do something, do it. If the man feels we need to put this bill into division, come together. This is what I can do. This is what I can do. I am married, and I can say in my marriage, 80% of what goes on in that home is my husband. Not just because I can't do it. It's not I can't do it. I'm not lazy. Like for like some weeks now, I've been taking up responsibility in the house, and my husband doesn't know. So when it comes to ask and say, we haven't paid for this, I'm like, I've paid it. That's love. It comes effortlessly. But when you do it where you're not loved or appreciated, even if you do it 50-50, you will have problems. True. This is not about you sorting bills together. This is about how well do you understand your partner? How well do you know that, okay, these are trying times for my partner. Even if he has that money, he can't pay for that bill now.
Some people don't even care.
Do you understand me? So even if you're sharing that bill, let's say for a month, that particular month, I budgeted that money for a mortgage that has to do with the interest of maybe your own mom or my own sister or something that we know we needed to sort out. It means that you have to take that responsibility, even if it's my duty to do it. So sharing that bill has to do with clear understanding, coming to the table, discussing it. Certain things I understand when it comes to relationship that we don't discuss it.
Yeah.
We just feel it's normal, like you get away with it. No, you should do it. No, discuss it. So I feel in marriage, if a lot of people take time to discuss issues, this is the problem. And then sometimes men don't come open. The women have to take time to push it out of them. Honey, what is going on? We need to sort this. How do we analyze it? If you feel you're not doing much, being that maybe you have a business and then the business isn't paying so much, maybe little as a wife, and the man is being the one paying. Look for mediums. If you give him ideas, that's why you partner.
Yeah.
It can even just be a slot of idea that will just click up and say, yeah, that's an opportunity,
I could actually do that.
Yeah. Why don't you look into this? Why don't you submit this proposal? Why don't you pick up this? Are you good?
It in my family and for generations now. Well, for generations, as in between me and Ian, my mum, my dad, my aunt, my granny and granddad, the women have always been better with money. So in terms of budgeting and knowing what the house needs and stuff like that, so the women have naturally just taken control of it. So it's not that we have sat down. Again, you can vouch for this. We've never sat down where I've said, Ian, okay, give me your money and I'll take control of it. It's just he knows naturally.
Yeah, she's the brain. She has the brain for these things that I don't.
Yeah.
Like before I met her, like I mean, I'll fully admit, I would have been, I would have had my credit cards. I would have went, yep. I'm pretty sure I've got their drinks before. Yes. Start slashing the card and whatever. But then I'd be paying for that for time and
later
time.
on.
But then after meeting Zoe, she was like, she really sort of sat me down and sort of shone a light on it and sort of said, if you did this, if you did this, if you did this, you could.
It's similar to what you were saying.
Essentially that,
Yeah.
Cut it all out.
Each other.
So I've been happy just to sort of say, we've got our accounts, we've got our accounts that we sort of put all our money into. I'm happy for her to make the decisions because I know she'll be smarter with her money, and it'll save us
a lot. I do agree with everything that was said, which is a fact from the biblical point of view, from the physical point of view, from understanding each other, from knowing like your partner's strong the strengths, and what weakness, probably financially. That's it. And to also love as well. That was mentioned as well. Okay, come. All of that is good. All of that I do agree with. Now, there's different perspective from where I stand. I'm an African man, a Nigerian man specifically, where one of the essence of being a man, as I was raised, what I've known from my own family, from people around me, is if I am unable to feel like I can provide, trust me, there will be problems. Not with anybody else, with myself. I know everybody will say oh yeah, it's normal, split the bill, you're meeting for the first time. Now, I ask you out on a date. I feel whatever that goes down, that now if I can afford it, I will not ask you out. Good point. If I can afford afterwards, I don't care if you don't putting money in my pocket, maybe my life is gone down, whatever, and you don't put money in my pocket afterwards, that's it. But if I can afford it at that time, trust me, I won't even come on a date with her if she asks me if I don't have money to foot my bill that day, and probably foot us as well. So that noted, this is an interracial relationship. Okay, she's different. She was bred different. She has a different understanding of how things should be or how things will be in our own way. Doesn't mean it's generally the way it is from our point of view or from. Anyway, so she brought her friend. This example I'm trying to say is she brought her friend. Her friend had a problem with that. I was like, okay, well, you didn't tell me you were going to bring it. That's fine. Mind you, we're seeing for the first time. We're meeting for the first time. It's a little bit awkward, but I'm a confident man. I was like, well, it doesn't have to go anywhere.
You should have come by yourself.
Do you know what I mean? Well, that's fine still. We could walk away from here and nothing happens. That's cool. To me, I see that's just company for the night. Have a good time, good vibes, just plans, and everybody go separately. It doesn't mean I'm going to see you next day, and I might see you next day. We did end up getting married anyway. So our friend had a problem with that. I was like, babes, I told you, you're coming out, just don't you worry, just come out, be your beautiful self. You know what I mean? Have a good time, just spend quality time together. But you brought your friend. I still paid for that. I did pay for that, and a friend was giving up saying who do you think you are? So as much as you all talk about love, as much as you all talk about understanding, you all talk about being the brain. You're talking about people's how do I put it? What makes people comfortable as well? Okay, which is it could be basic. Now, the two things I want to mention, the two things I want to talk about there is your background, what you've always known, the way you were raised, plays a major part. It's not as easy as like I don't know if you said there's no wrong before right answer. Somebody said that. I agree with that.
True.
So your story, his story, mine is different. So there's like different approach to that. But one thing I would agree with is communication, as we all agree. But in the house, there are times where like when I was still like with my partner and we're like we agreed to split the rent. I could have paid the rent. I would have loved to pay the rent.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, no, Sam, you're not gonna be paying the rent. You're like, cool, that's fine. Well, then I just looked into something else. Like, okay, if we're splitting the rent, like I would literally do it without me doing that. So like, okay, I owe you £50. Okay, yeah.
So are you saying you would prefer to pay all the bills to be able to gain your respect?
No. So it's not about respect for me.
Okay.
Okay. So you said something about love earlier.
Yes.
I mean, I don't even want to spend half of that money to get any girl. That's gonna make sense. If it is, you can get like respect from anybody. This is got nothing to do with my partner.
Yeah, in general, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? This has got nothing to do with my partner. It's what is being embedded in me. As much as you said balance, being able to show love at the same time, being able to look after your family is very, very, very,
This is
very.
about you. You're feeling about how you feel about yourself.
This is me.
Yeah.
This got nothing to do with my partner. This got like however way she feel. Obviously, communication is very important. So it's not about respect. It's obviously difficult for me at the time where like I have to walk away far away from literally like, could not get a job like at all. For the fact that I have a degree, I have whatever. Until I moved to like I have like
You moved to the city.
I didn't move to the city.
You left the village and you moved to the city.
Mind you, I moved to Derry because of her.
Oh.
That's love.
It's love enough.
Do you understand? I moved to Derry because of her. So I would go to like come back to Belfast, work like 3 days or 4 days, shift straight, travel, whatever, then go back home. That's it. I don't need to do
Were
that.
you doing that to make sure you can foot all the bills, or to still go back home and then split the bills with her?
I've got 2 kids. I like
So you
nice
gotta-
things. This is me.
But at the minute, so in Northern Ireland, everything's about mental health. So you know from work, we're all about kind of mental health UK, all of that. And I think put that amount of pressure on a man, or to put that amount of pressure on the woman in the relationship isn't fair on their mental health, because obviously you were feeling so pressured that you would have taken any job and worked 7 days a week.
I'm splitting bills with 2 other kids. Mind you.
Well, because I don't have kids with anybody else or
Yes.
anything like that, my all goes into this.
Yes.
So I don't have to think about
But
that.
Yes.
then we're very open. Like we would have really good communication.
Thank you.
And yeah, and it's key. And I could be totally wrong, but what I'm hearing from you there is your ex-wife. It doesn't sound like there was great communication or like openness,
Yes.
because for Ian, if he went out and paid for a trip to Amsterdam or whatever, I would know where the money's came from, because our bank accounts are open, everything's open between us. So the last thing that would ever come into my head is Ian struggling, like where's he getting that
The
money
major
from?
problem I have is I'm too open, right? Especially for immigrants, quote and unquote. You may not understand. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I am like way too open, and it's a problem. At the same time, it's my strong point. I pride myself. I'm not gonna change,
it's good.
but I'm way too open.
You don't
and
have to
way
change.
I'll tell you, like brutally honest. So from the beginning, I'm not gonna guy. If I'm like say, okay, I met a girl, I'm like, okay, I met you. I think you're like, this is what I want right now. I'm not one of the ones I want to get you to like be in my company first, trying like maneuver you to do what I want. Does that make sense? I'll tell you brutally, like, nah, you want to say bye bye now, bye. So the whole thing about the like coming on a date about listen, okay, so if you're not working tomorrow, which is I think Saturday, I think she was doing the job. She was working a full-time job and she was working I think in a family business or whatnot. So like, can you come through to Belfast? Blah 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 blah. I wasn't living in Belfast. But all bills on me. Like I'll sort that out. Like it'd be nice to get to see you. Blah blah. You can pick the next time. If there's gonna be a next time, she knew that.
Yeah, but even though so say that was me and you text me that to say I want to take you out, it's on me. when I'm there, I would feel it would be rude not to try. Now,
Wow.
and that's why
That's
I
what
think
I
agree with you.
and I
And we would get into some sort of silly little fight about, like, when she's at the toilet, I'll run up and try and pay a bill. You know, when I'm not looking, she'll start sliding money into my wallet, so I don't realize that she's actually paid
That's
for it.
yeah.
You know, and
That's another way of trying.
you see it,
Like
and
for
I
me,
brought my friend,
Yes.
and you still wanted to pay. It wouldn't be that in front of my friend I'd be going, no, hold on, let me get my money out.
Yes.
It would be like a wee bit secretive
Mhm.
to go,
for me, I
like,
still
how
feel,
much was that? Let me help.
I still
And if
feel,
you
no,
said
no.
no-
Let me help sounds odd. to me.
Yes, you can-
For me,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
feel,
Yeah.
I feel even
that
as
doesn't
friends,
make what you
as
say.
friends,
That doesn't make it not
Yes.
right.
No,
Oh,
it
yeah,
doesn't
it doesn't
stop
make
that.
it
No, no,
not
no, no,
right.
no. Not
It
at
is
all.
right.
It's
So,
right.
for example, like a birthday present. So, even my own mum and dad, if they said to me, what do you want for your birthday? I would never think of saying something.
Mhm.
You know, even if there was something now that I really wanted, I would be like, no, don't be worrying, I don't need nothing like that. Where with Ian's family, when it comes to his birthday, he
I'll break
will.
up the list. I'll
Yeah.
this week,
I
Where
like your
that
honesty,
would
man.
be like, I just find that rude
but I know
to
that.
tell people.
But I know that they would do that too,
Yes.
and that's why it's okay because we're all the same way. So when we got together, there was this really strange situation of I was being myself and like being honest and saying, I'll pay for this, or if you're going to buy me this, buy this, this, and this.
Exactly.
But then I quickly realized that she was too much of a for me. She was too much of a person who was willing to throw all her money at me, and then I was like, oh, hold on, like, and now I don't feel like I'm pulling my weight. I don't feel like I'm paying for certain
That's
things.
what I'm
But
saying.
then I started feeling as uncomfortable as you're talking about
Yeah.
with your ex or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like then I felt like I wasn't doing my bit, and it's not that I felt emasculated or anything like that, but I did feel that I just wasn't doing what I should have been doing. So I had to change my behaviour then to sort of match this new relationship. And then obviously when we got married, there was a whole new level of sort of commitment with that meant that it didn't matter anymore.
Commitment. That's the word.
When let's be honest, when we became married, all of our money was one place.
Oh, yeah.
It was all one thing. We had goals in mind. Like we wanted a house, we wanted a child, so we had the same unified goals. It's
Unified.
like all our money went together, we made decisions together, and that was it. So it really didn't matter what I was paid and what you were paid. It all just went into one thing.
What do you think about a scenario where a man and a woman they are married, and then the man in question is the breadwinner, right? Let me finish. And the woman isn't the breadwinner. She's not doing the duty of a breadwinner, but she's making sure that there are certain things the breadwinner needs that doesn't know he needs, or doesn't give notes that he needs. Like my husband is an hardworking man, and he takes care of everybody's needs in the sense that he finds joy in sorting those needs. He feels committed to sort
No, I know
those
that.
needs.
No, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
So now,
Yeah.
how do I make such
It's
a
even
man?
amazing if it was
What-
a lady, a
how
woman
do I
can,
make
talk
such a
about
man
her
happy?
husband like that.
Now, how do you make such a man that takes everybody like his responsibility? He's not mentally sick.
Yep.
He just sees himself like
Life is different.
I'm a whole being. I am in this earth to impact,
It was
to love,
nice. Yep.
and to touch somebody. Now, such man forgets himself.
Yes. He gets lost in
Now
other
that's
people's
where
stories.
the partner comes in. That's why you book a spa section.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go. I just say you gets a call. I'm like, who booked? I don't know. You just need to go. And maybe after I got a card. Did you just do that? I
That's
just
it.
did that.
It's the little things.
It's
just
just
the fact that
little
you
things.
remember that I exist.
So the same happens to partner. Let's say I'm even the breadwinner, right? Or we are sharing it. Even if you're sharing it, if you put a tag, you will not know when to affect your partner's life.
Yes.
You just feel like it is our responsibility.
Yes.
But when you feel that both parties are there to impact each other, you know when your husband doesn't have Coke at home, maybe he likes Coca-Cola. You know when he doesn't have Hennessy, he likes Hennessy. And then you see your man that is growing hairs. But you shouldn't be
stopping you
told
from-
outside. You can book the barber to say, come back my man at home. I do that.
I've been in a relationship,
You
even in
understand?
lockdown, when people done
I
my
can't
hair.
barb it for
Yeah.
myself. but I can call somebody, pay the person,
Mhm.
and maybe when he's just about to pay, it's been paid for. Wow. Do you know
We'll
what that
feel- we'll
feels?
feel love.
Got
You know,
nothing to do with money.
it's nothing
Yes.
to do with money.
That's what I was just.
Bro, I would take
saying.
I would take
It
a shoulder massage any day
Look
over
at what you
any
said.
woman, any money my partner could ever
Big
give.
amount.
You don't
Yeah.
have
Like
to.
if I was to go out and do your shopping, and you know, like I would come home with your chocolate. Do you know what? There's
Yes,
sometimes
like
Yeah,
your favorite thing,
that's
right?
the touch.
and it's like a couple of
The
pounds.
thought
thing
behind it.
on
Yes,
nothing.
and you feel like top of the world.
Those
It's
little
like,
things
ah,
are even more
And you're jumping on the
valuable
sofa,
than
you're
money.
like crunching chocolate. Oh,
Yes.
thank you. Do you know the kind of thing like that?
They'd be like, oh, I didn't know you
Yeah.
got me
Oh,
there.
Yeah.
my favorite
Yeah.
song.
And that's
That's
your
my
place.
Yes.
favorite one. It
Yeah.
doesn't
the,
have to
the cheapest
be
things in
big
fact are
money.
And then
exciting.
you can then now go out of your way. She's only
To
spending
do it.
£1 or £2 or £5 for that chocolate.
And in
You
your
might
head,
then
you
go
feel
out
like
of
I
your way
want to
and
give her
book
the
her
world.
and all of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Or book her is part.
So what I didn't say
Without
before I
her knowing,
booked
then you
holiday,
saw-
before I was planning this massive anniversary, what I didn't mention was she did some things for me
That triggered that.
that triggered that a couple of months prior.
You felt loved.
Yes.
You almost feel like, oh my god, I want to just bring the whole
Do you
world.
know what I
and
mean?
put
Like
it
she
down.
did for me that even talking about it, I'm like having goosebumps. Like there's something that she did at the time where like I was like, oh shit. Like
That's
this is
real.
good. I did say thank you. I did say thank you. I was like, I'm that kind of guy where like if you give me a cup, if you give me like a spoon of water, I'm ready to give you an ocean.
Yes, yes.
That's who
I
we
just
are.
want yes.
That's
That's
what I am.
who we
Yes.
have.
Like
Just
you
give
give me a
me
spoon
that.
of water. That's all you need to do. Just give me a
Yeah.
spoon of water. I will give you an ocean when necessary.
Yeah.
Drive me on.
So we just
I think they just need to wait off
Mhm.
and stop this tagging.
Yes.
And then don't expect too much.
Yes.
And, but I feel in the scenario of this society, right, in the society where we are, because we feel the women have more say,
Mm-hmm.
right, there's an acronym around that that makes some men to do less.
Yeah. I
Because
agree.
the women,
I agree.
some men to do less, and that makes them even to be selfless with even outsiders. They will just be like, no,
That was me
it's
after
not
that.
a big deal.
Yeah, me too. After a while, you just get fed up because it's like, how much more can I
try to
It's not a
call
big
back?
let it? You
deal.
just give up, and you almost become a
It,
passive
it
man.
makes
Which
them
is not
lose
good,
touch of
Which
doing
is-
something.
which
Because
You
is-
it's
become a
like,
passive
when you
man,
do it,
and it's at that point you're like,
she's not even not gonna ask.
she's not gonna appreciate it.
So
She's
how
not
much
gonna. So what's the
I'm
point?
gonna give you back the cash now.
Understand that.
Understand your personality.
I think we've tried.
Yeah.
We've tried for today. We've covered lots of points.
Mhm.
The other thing I didn't get to know is Mega.
Yes,
Would you split bills? Because I think you've not really addressed that. Would you split bills
Yeah.
with your partner, or would you prefer to do it by yourself?
It depends on the partner, and I've learned that the hard way. I've tried both sides, and I've learned that it depends on the individual I'm with. So that's it.
That's a good one, and we've been able to, we picked up lots of points.
Yeah,
made
I
lots of
actually
points.
learned something.
We all
so
did
do I.
make lots
Oh,
of
I learned
points.
a lot. Thank you all so
Yeah,
much.
so
Honestly,
it's really good having everyone
Well
around. Big shout out to you, Sam, Lacruz. Big shout out to you, Zoe, for coming. Thank you very much. Big shout out to you.
and
I'll call you Bempire, but then I'll call you Victoria. Thank you very much for coming. And
Thank you.
big man,
big man in.
that's the man I've done.
I would
for
like to
lots of
suggest
years.
also you all
Easy.
quit your day jobs and become therapists because
Yeah.
you're honestly,
No,
you're
I
honestly,
did that.
you underestimate your. But
Big shout out
honestly,
for coming as well here. And guy behind the camera, Mega Man.
thank you,
I love
sir.
you, brother.
Love
Big
you
shout
too
out to you.
always.
And my
Forever.
little boy
Yes,
standing there.
Behind the
yes.
scenes.
He helped with the
Alexander.
camera too.
Big shout out to you as well. Thanks for coming. We love you. You're welcome, guys. Thank you very much.
No worries, man.